you doing today, folks? This is Lip Seal, and you are here on The Fit. I'm here with Mr. Surbough, here at Magical Memories presents Disney Finds Art.
Good afternoon. Glad to be here.
We are coming to you out of their store here right outside of Bally's and the Grand Bazzar shops. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm great. Happy to be here, and welcome to our store.
Thank you so much. Well, first I would like to say I'm a big fan of Disney, of course. I've watched it my whole life to this day. Honestly, I went to sleep watching Disney Channel. I'm just a big fan of it. How about yourself?
Very cool. So am I. Grew up with a lot of films. It's embedded in the culture. And I think when you look at people that come in, you've got everything from kids who are into new movies like Frozen. And then you have people that are my age and older that know the classics like Steamboat Willie and different versions of Mickey and Fantasia and all the characters that have been put out there over the years by the Disney Corporation.
So with the new movies, do you think these new movies, do you think there's something that the older crowd can relate to as well?
I think so. I've met a lot of adults that get real excited about Frozen, and I think we all know that it was sort of targeted toward a younger audience, young girls with sisters that see it, can really relate to it, but yet it seems like a lot of the parents and grandparents are just excited to either buy some artwork or take the kids to the films, and they seem to enjoy it as well.
Well, that's one thing about Disney. It also makes you feel young no matter what your age is.
Absolutely.
I like that. So I would like to talk a little bit about your store now. You guys have a lot of artwork here. At any point, do you have duplicate art? Or if somebody buys it, would you be able to get the same piece, or is every piece its own unique style?
Right, good question. Here's how it works: is the artist creates the original painting. They give it to our company, and at that point the piece gets scanned, and then it gets printed. So what mostly we do is limited editions, and those are the original, and then an edition of maybe 50 or 95 pieces. Those get color matched, approved by the artist, approved by Disney, signed. So when you come in, you'll see a piece. It could be the original piece of art, it might be the limited edition piece of art, but if you see it, chances are it's going to be available for a couple of years.
But you guys do have some original one-of-a-kind pieces here in the store, correct?
Absolutely. Right now we have about 5 originals. Of those, 2 have been published and made into limited editions. So what we like to do with customers and people that are interested in the process, we show them the limited edition. We put it up next to the original. We talk about the differences, how it was created, what the different features are. And it's nice to be able to see sort of the whole process, how it goes from an original to a limited edition.
So with any of these pictures at any point, I do know that they are based off of the movies, but did any of these pictures, some of these pictures not make the movie scenes? Like they're in different scenarios or something?
Yeah, generally everything you'll see here does come from a film. It'll come from a scene. It may be the artist's interpretation of it, so it may vary a little bit. But we have a few artists who kind of have their own vision of Disney, and they'll do that. And so it's from a film. It'll be a character, but it might be their own version of it. And so you might be able to appreciate the work of art. It may not be exactly as it comes from the film. It may be how they see it and their interpretation of it. But most everything you see is pretty recognizable from a film.
Do you ever get to meet any of the artists?
I do. I know, let's say we carry 30 different artists, which is about what we do. I probably know 7 to 10 of them, and of those 7 or 10, I've got 2 that have become really good friends. I worked for the publisher when it first opened up in early 2000s, and so being in Los Angeles at the publishing company, the artists would come in, they'd sign the work, they'd work in there, they'd have a studio there at times, and we'd get to meet them, became friends with some of them, and to this day, still a lot of good friends.
Cool. Do they ever come here in the store?
They do. From time to time, we'll have artists come out, usually on a weekend. It might be a busier weekend in Vegas, and they'll either work on their piece. We have some artists that will do a performance piece. They'll create a high-energy Disney completed acrylic painting in 30 or 40 minutes, and it might be more like performance art. They'll have music, painting quickly, getting into it, getting the crowd into it, and it's a pretty fun thing to see. And at other times we have an artist come out, and it may be more low-key, where they're hanging out, they're working on a piece, they're signing pieces for customers, and telling their story about how they got into the business.
That's pretty cool. So you mentioned that you worked for Disney. What was it that you did for them exactly?
All right. When I first started, I was in Los Angeles working for Disney Fine Art, and it was when the program started. So we had taken it or been given from Disney to Disney Fine Art to continue the program and grow it. So I was first Western U.S. sales manager, and then I moved into international sales and covered Japan and the UK and Canada in terms of sales. And then I did a little bit of marketing as well, which was